Hey, what's up, fellas? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. A couple days ago, I threw up a Instagram and Twitter post, and it was talking about how we were able to get one of the players that came in to work with me. We were able to add 10 miles an hour onto his exit velocity, and basically one session, right? From one session to the next session, less than 2 hours of work. So we did two 1 hour sessions. And we were able to add 10 miles an hour to exit velocity, which is a huge amount, and it's not, it's not something that we get with all of our players. But I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it because I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of DMs and all that stuff asking, how is it possible? How are you able to add, 10 miles an hour to exit velocity in essentially less than 2 hours? What were the steps that you guys took? And so, I can't make the video long enough to go over every little thing that we did, but I'm going to give you the main idea and kind of how it happened and all that stuff. So Alec came in. He's 19 years old, and he came in really open-minded. We talked about his swing. This is the swing over here on the left that he took. This is the first thing we did. So we come in, we essentially test him, and we put him on video. And then we break down his swing and we talk about, okay, this is what you're doing. These are the areas that we need to kind of clean up and fix or change. And this is, I think if we do this, when I first saw him, he's a big kid. He's probably, 6'2", 220 pounds probably. And his exit velo was around 85 miles an hour or so. And just looking at his size and strength, I thought that down the road he could be a guy that, potentially we could get into the 90s, maybe 95. I never thought that it would happen in less than 2 hours. But now he's probably a guy that is going to be a 100-mile-an-hour exit speed guy, which is, really elite bat speed and exit velocity. So let's get into kind of the main thing and how he's able to basically increase all this exit velocity. Just all we did was change the way his body moved and change the sequence in which his body basically unwound. So the main thing is we're trying to create the proper sequencing throughout the body. So we're trying to accelerate the body from the ground up. And we're trying to teach him how to basically create and release tension and stretch within his body. That's it. Okay, if we can get his body to move in the proper way, in the proper order, that's it. That's how you're able to get the exit velocity to make such a big jump. So, when he swung on the left here, it was very much a what I would just call a top-down swing, where it's more of an arm swing. Right, so don't even focus on this swing over here yet, but it's really an armsy swing. There's really no tension created in the body. If you think about an elastic band, right? If you want to be able to shoot an elastic band fire, you have to be able to store energy in the band or create tension, right? So you're going to pull the band back, you put the band on stretch, and then you release it. Body works the same way. You have to be able to put your body on stretch to then release that stretch, and that's how you're able to get the bat to really whip through. Your body essentially becomes a whip. And when you watch the swing on the left, there's no real tension created, and really all the bat speed is produced from him being big and strong, right? So it's really it's an upper body. You can see how much the path is really down through the ball, right? So he's going to have a tough time squaring the ball up because he's really down the ball. He's not getting on path with the ball early, and the bat speed's going to suffer because he's just essentially just using his upper body and his arms to try to create the bat speed. And he was able to swing and create, around 85 or so mile per hour exit speed because he's a big, strong kid. And so what we did was, we did a bunch of things, but we're trying to now, again, get him to sequence his body a little bit better. And so what you'll see in the one on the right, if you watch his shirt right here, you can see how his shirt gets really, really tight, right? You don't see that one in this video, and I know the shirt's black and it's tough to see, right? But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to, to keep it really, really simple, we're trying to get, we've talked about this in other videos, we're trying to get a pullback here with his upper body. All right, so we're creating resistance with the upper body. So the upper body, we're not going to let it go early. We're not going to just let the arms take over and start the swing. So he is essentially going to pull back as he's making his forward move into the ball. Okay, so you can see that here. You see a little bit of a pull back as he's moving into the ball, and we're going to try to hold that resistance as long as we can, even as our lower body starts to unwind. So you can see his back leg turning here, right? His lower body starting to unwind, but he is still resisted with his upper body. So this has not been allowed to release yet. And when you do that, you're going to see that the bottom half's trying to turn, right? The upper body's working this way. And so now you've got this stretching action where, you know, if you think about the band, right? I'm stretching the band. I'm creating tension. So pull back, pull back, pull back as I'm moving into the ball, as my leg is starting to turn, right? So my lower body wants to go. My upper body is not letting go. It's pulling back still. So now you've got the tug of war going on here. So again, we get to this point, which picture looks like he's ready to now release and create some bat speed? This one by far, right? There's no resistance in the upper body in this one. There's no pullback. There's no separation between lower and upper body. And so he's not going to be able to create as much bat speed in this one. It's really easy to see in this video right here, right? So now the sequence is, right, the lower body is going to start to open. The shoulders are still closed. Then the shoulders start to open. And the bat's still here. Now the bat comes, boom. So it's, you know, it's lower body, boom, and it's moving on up. Torso, shoulders, bat, whack. That right there, that move, right? This took us, you know, we probably talked for the first 20 minutes about what he was doing. Then we talked for probably about 20 minutes about what we needed him to do. Then we started to work on it through 3, 4, 5 different drills. That was essentially the first day. The second day, he shows up. You know, first day took an hour. Second day, he shows up. We already have an idea what we're doing. We've already put in some drills. We add a few more things. We do a couple of drills. We take this video about probably 30 minutes in, so now you're about an hour and a half in, and all of a sudden he goes from 85 to 95. His bat path starts to work slightly up through the ball, right? So once you learn how to kind of move your body, and again, this whole sequencing thing, you know, obviously this is a 8 to 10 minute video. We talked for a lot longer than that. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but at the core, that's what has to be done, right? And then the work goes, okay, how do we get our body in position? You know, how do we load the right way? How do we move the right way? You know, how do we launch the bat the right way to be able to create that proper sequence? That's where the work comes in. But once you're able to start to get it, this is what happens. And again, he still has some ways to go. We've only worked twice together. We're going to work again tomorrow. And so we'll work on adding a couple more things. And I think we'll go probably from 95 to 100. And now you go from an 85 mile an hour average guy that, you know, as far as bat speed is concerned and ball exit speed, that's for a 19-year-old, that's, you know, probably average, right? To 100 miles an hour, where now you are above average, right? Now that's getting into some pretty good territory right there when you get to the hundreds. Not a lot of guys can do that. So obviously, I think this is going to have a huge effect on his career, and really interested to see where he's able to go from here. Again, we just met last week, so but I'll keep you guys updated. Let you know what happens once he gets to 100 miles an hour. I think it'll probably happen tomorrow, and then I'll take some video and stuff and shoot it out for you guys. So in a nutshell, that's really what we did, what we worked on. And if you learn how to move your body better, you can really jump in exit velocity. And again, it's not just exit velocity, it's the bat path stuff. It's a lot of stuff. You know, it's not just all about exit velocity, but the more of that you can have, obviously, the better. So That's all I got, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Share the video with all your friends. Give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate all that. Check out our Instagram at Antonelli Baseball, our Twitter feed, Antonelli9. Posting videos all the time for you guys. And that's all I got. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.